Let's now bring in CTV's Rachel Aiello, who's following the story very closely for us. An exciting election there, Rachel. 39 Speaker elected for the 45th session of Parliament.
Yeah, that's right. We all just watched some history unfold. So Francis Scarpaleggia has been an MP since 2004. He was the longest serving MP among those who threw their names into the ring to become the next speaker. So what we've just watched unfold is that tradition of him kind of getting jostled to his seat with Andrew Scheer, the official opposition leader, on one side, and Prime Minister Mark Carney on the other. And then, of course, we watched Prime Minister Mark Carney stand in the House of Commons and deliver his first remarks ever. Just a remarkable moment to witness there. And in his remarks, he said that, he has confidence in the speaker, and, he trusts that as a rookie prime minister, he will make mistakes. And I assure that you will tell me when I've done so, making sure we're upholding the rules and rights of Parliament, underscoring the significance of this moment in this election. And then we had Andrew Scheer take his turn. This is kind of part of what happens after a speaker is elected, is each party leader gives some well wishes, some warm remarks. But what is key is that they affirm that they have, that the new speaker has their support. And that is kind of essential going forward, because now, although he has been a Liberal MP for 20+ years, he is now taking on the impartial role as the overseer, the adjudicator in the House of Commons. So he's kind of have to strip that partisanship and govern and act and make decisions and rulings for all parliamentarians.
It's also an interesting development when we had two other Conservative MPs who dropped out of the race just last minute before the elections were called there in the House of Commons, Rachel. So tell us what happens to the number of seats, really, where the Liberals are concerned now.
Yeah, so I do believe that this was a consideration for the Conservatives in terms of the number of votes they'd have in key moments going forward. Because if a Conservative had become the Speaker and Chris D'Entremont, who was the Deputy last time, was in the running and looked like a good contender, then essentially they would be losing a vote. And with the margins of this minority government being what they were, I expect that was a factor in why the Conservatives pulled out. And then this really just shaped up to be a race between 6 Liberal MPs. And we saw each one of them kind of give speeches, make their case for why they were the best person to kind of represent the House of Commons going forward. But yes, in terms of just like straight numbers here, the Liberals are now essentially down another vote.
And up ahead in terms of responsibilities, because this Parliament, as we know, is very different from what we saw 4 months ago when the Parliament was in session, Rachel.
Yeah, so this is one of the quickest returns to Parliament in Canadian history, and I think that is an indication of all of the work that Prime Minister Mark Carney has outlined. So yes, Francis Scarpaleggia, as the new House of Commons Speaker, will quickly get to work overseeing all of that business in the House of Commons, tabling of bills, debates, question period, all of those things. But the first order of business is the hotly watched for moment tomorrow, speech from the throne in the Senate. So the House Speaker will have a role in that, and then from there, setting out the priorities for the session ahead. It will be MPs returning to the House of Commons and beginning that process of making big decisions, deliberating legislation, and all of this, the fact that the King is coming as well, is part of the Prime Minister's emphasis on needing to meet the moment. And clearly, he's made it clear to his caucus that they need to act with deliberations quickly, and they need to act with urgency.
That is CTV's Rachel Aiello reporting from the Parliament on the election of the Speaker. Rachel, thank you for this major update.